We're here for our first wedding of the spring.
Yeah. So, yep, turning.
And today I'm going to take you guys through a full BTS of everything we do on the wedding day, shooting photo and video. Today we're dealing with a little bit of rain, but that's all right. So first thing we're doing is just game planning. We're here a little early, trying to figure out where we want to do the first look. And yeah, should be a good day. Oh, hello there. Future Isaac here. I'm going to be watching this with you, and I'm going to explain everything we're doing. So step one on the wedding day is getting those nice establishing shots. On this day, obviously it was a little rainy. Actually, it was a lot of it rainy. Not gonna lie, it stopped for a little second, and I tossed the drone out there and got a few quick shots. Honestly, so happy I did. We got some banger establishing shots for the video. The drone was pretty wet. Honestly, it's okay though. It still works. I was really concerned, but I was like, you know what? We'll just had it for a while anyways. Worst case scenario. The remote's still good, I guess. But yeah, it worked out fine. Got that nice shot. Then we hopped into the guys' room here. Love was getting a banger Super 8 video of them. And then we're just getting some shots of the guys just hanging out, playing cards and stuff. And the one thing that we've been loving to do with the Super 8 is just like trying to figure out when we want to do it. We just started offering the Super 8, and so we're just doing it for everything, and it's so fun. And the main thing we've learned is like just taking up everything. At the start, we were so concerned about like when should we do it, and we were like conserving it, but now it's just like film everything. Like the guys getting ready. We actually don't have the footage back yet. I probably should have gotten that for this video. My bad. But yeah, it's super fun. But yeah, so we got some fun shots of the guys hanging out. Went and got the dress, hung the dress up. Got some sweet shots of the dress. Liv was surprised I was taking a video over there. And then after we hang up the dress, I didn't have a video of this. This is when we put the bride mic on it, or the mic, in the bride's dress. And so that's a good time to do it before we give the dress back to the bride. And so we pop that boy in there. And then after the bride gets her dress on, obviously, then we'll put the strap on. So then she got the dress on, and then here we are inside taking some pictures of her. Number one thing I always say is make sure you shut off all the lights in the room, and then use that window light, and it makes everything look way nicer so you don't have over the top lights. And here is a couple of my favorite photos. Honestly, I love this photo so much. The black, the grain, the light coming from behind her looking back at her mom. Beautiful. I love this photo. 10 out of 10 would print that one. And then always be looking around. So here, they were just over the side, and this is an adorable photo. I like this one. But yeah, so we're just kind of moving around using the window light. Liv usually stays by my side. I have her look up at me. I have her look at Liv's camera. Just kind of keep them moving. Emily was very patient with us, and it was kind of a beautiful moment. The kind of rain falling, depending on if you were running the rain or not. But yeah, I love that photo of her looking out and her hands down there. I love those so much. And that's one thing that we've really been trying to work a lot more on this year, was like taking a couple extra minutes and grabbing those photos of just the bride in the getting ready room. That's something I used to think we didn't have enough time. There's always enough time just for a few minutes. Literally, this session was maybe 3 to 5 minutes, and it was all the time we needed to just hop on there and get some of these amazing photos that they're gonna have for the rest of their life, and I don't regret it at all. So yeah, now that she's ready, we're hopping down here for a first look with Dad. And so what we did here was, obviously it was raining outside, and we really wanted natural light for the photos, and we wanted to get them secluded from everyone else. So thank goodness the venue had this nice overhang here. And what the bride actually told us was that the week before, when this big windstorm came through, it actually blew some of the top off of it, and they got a construction crew in there right away to fix it up. So super thankful for that. So what we did though is we had the dad facing the wall. We brought the bride in from behind, and I'm up here at the front just grabbing some photos of the dad looking forward, grabbing some photos of Emily, the daughter, looking at him. And these are always just some of my favorite photos. Like I want to make sure we get those also along with the reaction. So then we let her go up and tap him on the shoulder. He'll turn around, beautiful moment. And this is where I just really want photos from all the sides, getting both sides of him, and then hopping over to her side and getting her reaction too. And just them talking to each other is just beautiful. So yeah, I'm always trying to move. We're always trying to look around. Same thing with Garrett and Emily here. So I want him looking over. I love that one of him. He's kind of like looking back there. He's ready to see her. And then her too, she's looking at him. So it's like all this tension. You're telling the whole story. So you don't want like just the reaction. The reaction is amazing, but telling the whole story around the first look is like, it adds so much more context. So then in the future, when they have these photos, they have the whole context, everything, which I love so much. Here we are, we get the reaction. He has a beautiful reaction. They were such a sweet emotional couple, and I love that. So we're just working around, walking circles around them here. And yeah, it's just a beautiful moment. And as you see, we're always moving. Once I get a shot, I like to move. And those are one of my favorite shots of the first look. I bent down here and snagged this one. And the water on the side, since it was kind of wet in the concrete, you can see, I like kind of add a little reflection in there. And yeah, I usually always add black and whites, obviously, to some of my favorite photos. In this wedding gallery, I added a ton of black and whites. I always add the color in the black and whites, but the black and whites I was just vibing with in this gallery. So you probably noticed that in the pictures throughout this video. But yeah, beautiful reaction. They were a super sweet couple. Emily and Garrett were amazing. So you can see Liv was over there grabbing some Super 8 again. And now I'm getting ready for the vows. So in the first look, we let them have the first look. And then they can take a second, take a deep breath, and then we'll set up for the vows. So you can see I'm moving the barrel all the way. Got to do a little reconstruction here on the concrete out here. Getting the tripod set up because the vows are like such an important part in the whole video. So obviously being wedding photo and video team, we're helping each other out with that. So we want one tripod facing this way on her and then one tripod facing this way on him. So that way we can get her giving her vows and her reaction, him giving his vows and getting his reaction. And then the main shot is Liv's shot, obviously. Her roaming camera is like always more beautiful to me because it has just like some movement in it. It has like that handheld vibe of it. So we want to use that one as much as possible, but then the other two shots are always there to splice in and out throughout the video. So that's how we set those up, and it's really hard to set them up, obviously, because we're going to be up there too. So they're more of like just back there shots, and then we're getting the main shots. And I try to stay out of the way of them as much as possible. But yeah, so that's how we set up the tripods for the vows. Super important. And then we just kind of stay back here. At this point also, I shut off the shutter sound on my camera, so it's not making that noise. I'm using the electronic shutter. Usually I don't do that throughout the rest of the day because I like the noise. It lets me know how many pictures I'm taking. But for this, specifically for the audio, because audio is so important, I took that off. But yeah, this photo, I love this photo so much. Just like the wind blowing. That's where like wind can be hard to work with, specifically with audio. But like, oh man, the hair on the face, add some with some grain in there. I love that photo so much. That's beautiful. And then I always love to get like some close-ups of their hands and the note, and they wrote on their note like handheld, which is always so nice. Like she wrote on this to her husband, and it looks so cool. Like I love the authenticity of that. Afterwards, we went inside for some photos because it was dumping rain outside, and this venue had this nice stairway, which was perfect because actually we always ask couples to send us like an inspo board on like Pinterest, just so we can kind of see the vibe of like, not like to copy anything, but just like get the vibe of kind of the photos they were thinking about. And on there that she had some staircase photos. And so when I saw the staircase, I was like, that's perfect. This is a great option without having outside to be able to use this. So we had them at the bottom, and then we had them go to the top. And this is a terrible shot of like my leg here. But I was using my second camera. So I usually have the 24 in one and the 50 in one. And since it was a tight spot, I was using 24 here. So it doesn't really help you out a whole lot to see it, but we had them up there, and then we just kind of roamed around, and these photos are beautiful. I'm so happy that the like window was right on the top, shining light down. And then like this staircase shot, I love this one. And this one was like kind of accident. I was kind of like turning my camera sideways. And then like the angles like all coming together, and then like the little angle on the side. I love this. I would print this off for my wall. All the angles in it, like they were just hanging out there for a second. I love that so much. And yeah, so now I'm moving more furniture outside. We're coming outside to do a couple more pictures underneath the balcony out here, just to grab just a few more. I wanted to create a lot of good photos. Here's Liv and I double teaming it up here. But yeah, and then we just grabbed some more, and then we went inside for the bridal party photos. And usually I'm always doing these ones outside, but obviously it's raining, and so it actually worked out really good. They had a white roof up here and then like the drapes, and it worked really well with the flashes, like almost making a whole softbox, as you'll see in these photos here. The lighting was beautiful. It worked great. I was super pumped with the flash on that. So kind of asked for a better like indoors bridal party photo shoot though. So yeah, now it's break time. Liv snacking, always bring some snacks with us. Specifically, we had some downtime before the ceremony, after all the first looks and bridal party photos, so it's nice to take a deep breath. Always bring water with us and have lots of hydration. So now we have the flower girl and ring bearer walking down, and I love these photos of them walking down, and then specifically this last one here of like their feet. I just love that. It's actually the same photo as the first one, but I just cropped in. I just love the little details like that, and obviously more black and white. So here we have her walking down. I am usually just getting all the long photos, and then thankfully they had like a turn, so I had time to get some of him. And then I always love to slide behind them after they walk down. And specifically here, it was really easy to get some reactions. It was a smaller ceremony. So we were allowed to move around a lot. And then I love to stop and like shoot 3 people. I think it just adds a lot more depth to the video, or to the photos here. And you can kind of feel like you're more in the scene when you're looking at the photos. Here we have the kiss, so I get the landscape and then I have time to switch to the vertical. I don't always do that, but if it's a long enough kiss, I know I have time to do that, then I'll send it and get the vertical too. And then walking down, we walk back with each other. We let them come so far, and then Liv and I communicate and walk down with each other. Dip kiss was beautiful, and then make sure to always follow the bride and the groom after their ceremony. That's one thing I didn't used to do when we first started out, and then I used to like get all the photos of all the people walking back down the aisle, but you already got the photos of them walking down the first time. And these photos are so much more important to me. Their reactions, their first moments after just getting married, and like everything's hitting them all at once. There's always emotions. Those are the moments you want to be there for. So yeah, we always follow them right afterwards. But yeah, so then after that, we had some more outside photos. The rain light up a little bit. We brought some see-through umbrellas. Had them come out into the rain. It was a little bit mucky, but she was switching her dress shortly after this. So she was okay with getting a little wet. And so yeah, it was super beautiful. Here you can see, I actually took the house out of the right side of that photo a little bit, but the tree, the black and white, I just love that photo, like the straight on. The umbrella was clutch. We let them just like walk down the side, and I was like, all right, y'all, just let me know when you're feeling like when it's a little too rainy out here, and we'll go inside. So we were real quick. Just had to walk down the side, turn around, walk back, and then like do a quick kiss. This photo I love because you can see like the rain and the grain in it, and it's beautiful. There's just so much happening with the rain. It's wet. They just got married, and there's so much going on. Just smiles, like they were just vibing. This photo is beautiful. They were just absolutely stunning. And then yeah, for the entrance, I always like to ask the party where they're kind of doing their thing at. Sometimes they'll do it like right after the door opens, and sometimes they'll do it on their way in. That way you can just kind of game plan a little bit. That was kind of fun with the dunk. I thought that was pretty cool. And then yeah, so then we're in here for our first dance. We have 2 lights. So we have 1 light on this side and 1 light on this side, and we love to have them like cross each other. So that way either side we're on. I love to shoot into it and to shoot to the side of it. So yeah, the bringing the lights is super important. And you'll see here in these photos, we have like these beautiful shadows coming from, it's hitting this beam, and then the light is also on them perfectly there. And it's more dramatic. That photo, black and white, they're just resting for a second, taking it all in. I love that photo. Black and white, gotten some nice green on there. Father or mother-son dance is always like one for me. I don't know why. I'm always paying attention. I'm always paying like extra attention in that, just because that is a moment that I had for our wedding. And so I'm always like, that was just a special one for my mom and I. So I always just like, I don't know. I feel more connected to this one than anything else part of the day. It's one of my favorite parts of the day. So I'm always just really excited for that one. And the mom's always just looking, and it's always a good moment. So here we have with the cake. It was a little tougher with this position. Usually we're in front of them. This time, because how the table was, we're kind of to the side. But it worked out really well. They got the cake with each other there, fed each other. They liked it. It was great. Everybody clapped. And it was a quick little moment. And the cake was good, so can't complain about that. All right, so now for the speeches, we have 1 light on the back again, which lights them up beautifully. As you can see, the twinkling lights were actually stunning back there. And then I love to move around. So that's one thing. I don't want to just be in one spot. I want to get this shot, and then I want to move. I want them to have multiple angles. I want to have reactions to people. I don't want them to just have 20 photos of like just one spot. And this was an awesome angle because he's telling a funny story, they're laughing, and then there was an emotional part. So there's some amazing photos from over here, which is awesome. You can see a reaction. Generational dance, my one thing I love to do is just try to get one good photo of each couple dancing out there. It's a hard thing to do, but this is usually a good time. There's usually a good amount of space to just get a lot of good photos of the couple again, of the other couples out there. As you can see, this was An awesome photo. I love that one with the sun coming over. Dancing time, I usually just put on my 24 direct flash, fix the lighting for that, and usually just create some fun photos of them just vibing out there. And yeah, I love to just go wide with these. The wide it is, I feel like the more of it feels like a party out there, and they were dancing hard out there. And then the exit. So the exit, I actually forgot to record my Insta360 for this one, so there's no BTS of this. But yeah, we just line up in the middle. I tell them to walk slow. There's no need to run down there. Do a dip kiss in the middle. And yeah, so that was a wrap up on that day. It was stunning. And I hope you learned something from this BTS of us breaking down the day. And I look forward to doing this with all the other weddings this year. Subscribe for virtual high five down below, and we'll talk to you next week.